Hello, everyone, and welcome into Simply Life. I'm Keith Casebolt, radio program created by my good friend, Gary C. Johnson, and normally I say it's good to see you. Let me stress that, my friend. It is really, really good to see you.
Isn't it wonderful to be alive, my friend?
Oh, I will never take it for granted again when you walk in here and say, hey, Keith, we made it another week, or you walk in here and say, isn't it good to be here and be able to talk and laugh? That reverence for life, yes.
So today we're going to talk a little bit about the virus.
It's still with us.
Yep.
And more so now than ever before. And Gary, there's light at the end of the tunnel, and people are getting anxious, and they're getting excited, but we still got a ways to go.
Well, I honestly feel and recommend strongly to my friends that you wear a mask,
Yes.
that you social distance if you can, you not have any gatherings, and if you're exposed, stay quarantined for at least 10 days so you won't infect someone else. Now, Keith and I can talk to you today with great authority about the virus, right, Keith?
Oh, you and I can give firsthand accounts about the virus. And unfortunately, all the things that you just said, wear the mask, social distance, try not to do the gatherings, you can do all of those things, and you can still end up with the virus.
Letting your guard down for 1 minute.
Just a minute.
Here's the thing I want to talk to you folks about, is the fear factor. You don't want the virus, my friends. You don't want it, okay? The odds are it will not kill you unless you have some pre-existing conditions or you're morbidly obese or some other reason.
Mm-hmm.
You will survive the virus.
98% of the people,
Or
basically,
actually 99
is it 99? Okay.
or more survive it. The hardest thing you'll have to deal with, or one of the hardest things you'll have to deal with, is if you catch it, is the fear that it's going to go to your lungs and put you on a ventilator and kill you.
And that, my friend, is real. Because this virus doesn't treat everybody the same.
No.
As you and I know, you have different symptoms. What it would do to you, it didn't do to me, nor did it do to my wife or to my children. Completely different.
And so you folks will know, Keith and I have just recovered from the virus, both of us.
Yes.
There's about a 4-day lag between the two of us. Myself, I did not have any real problems with it. Tired, weak.
Mm-hmm.
Occasionally felt like I might be getting a fever, but no big deal. But then again, I have exercised religiously my entire life. I have tried to stay in good health. I have no underlying conditions.
You take no medications.
And I take no medications.
That's right.
But the thing that bothered me the most about it, when it came right down to it, was the constant fear of, well, when's it going to get in my lungs?
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Do I know what you're talking about? You mean like in the middle of the night if your nose stopped up or you were having trouble breathing and you would wake up and say, is this the start
My downfall?
of my downfall? Is it going to my lungs? Am I really having trouble breathing or am I just stopped up? Yeah, I know exactly.
So I'm hoping by talking about it on the program that Keith and I can alleviate some of your fear. Not that it's a cakewalk. Not that it's not dangerous, but what I'm saying is it's not a death wish. You're not necessarily and probably not going to die if you get it.
there is the fear factor. Now, in my household, all four of us had it. Youngest son had no symptoms. The wife, she had body aches, fatigue, lost taste, smell. My oldest son had nausea and actually threw up to the point to where I had to take him to the emergency room to get fluids. I had the migraine headaches, I had the fever, I had the absolute complete loss of energy, slept for about 2 days, 3 days straight, couldn't get out of bed, but we all four were different. But
you survived.
We survived. But then the other fear factor, other than the lungs, was the fear factor of, oh my goodness, was I around someone, or did I drop my guard around someone that had physical problems? My mother, my father. Did I give it to somebody that it is going to cause them great harm? And that sits in, Gary, and that really is troubling because you do not want to pass this to anyone.
You do not want to get it if you can keep from it.
You don't want to get it, and you don't want to pass it to anyone.
So I guess the point I'm wanting to make on the program, my friends that's listening, wear your mask, be careful, stay away from gatherings.
Mm-hmm.
If you get it, it's not necessarily going to be the end of the world. You will probably survive. You'll be miserable.
Mm-hmm.
But why run the risk of being miserable and being quarantined and be at home when you can wear a mask, be careful,
and not
get it?
And listen, for our friends out there, if Gary and I sound a little brave right now, no. I was calling Gary every morning and texting him and going, how are you feeling? Are you okay? And he would call me back and go, how are you? Are you okay? And the truth of the matter was, I was scared.
It's the fear.
I was absolutely scared.
And that's why I'm hoping we can take a little bit of the fear out of our audience that's listening. Understand that if you get it, you probably will live.
Yeah, and there's still some people that are rebelling and they're not wanting to wear the mask. It's a small inconvenience price to pay for the opposite of getting it.
Well, don't wear the mask. If you catch it, then you'll say, oh, I wish I'd have worn the mask.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not going to be a fun 10 days or 14 days. And then, as you and I, we would converse back and forth, and we started reading a lot about this. And one of the chapters that I was reading from the Mayo Clinic ended with this: there's still so many questions that we don't have answers to. And
now you and I have the answers to everything.
Yeah, I've got the answer. We just don't know.
That's right.
It treats everybody different. Some people have lingering effects. You and I today, I feel good. You feel good. Mm-hmm. We seem to have recovered with no lingering effects.
Well, we've talked in the past about how we view ourselves in the future.
Mm-hmm.
And we generally view ourselves, when we think about ourselves in the future, as a stranger.
Yes.
Not us, but a stranger.
Who is that person?
Right. And if ever there's a time, my friends, that you need to take care of that stranger in your future, which is you, it's now. You need to exercise. You need to watch your weight.
Mm-hmm.
You need to eat right. You need to take the vitamins that you really need. In other words, the stranger will thank you 10 years from now.
Uh-huh. For doing all
of that, if you will do it.
And let me tell you, what Gary is saying, I think came from a conversation where I called him and said, I'll never take health for granted again. If the good Lord sees me through this, I'm going to take better care of the body. I'm going to exercise. I'm going to enjoy every sunset, every sunrise. You're talking about a reverence for life.
It changes your perspective. It makes you look your mortality, I guess, right dead in the eye. that you may not
Want
be
to
going
face?
to live forever.
Yeah. Is this it?
This may be the time that I say, oh, goodbye, guys. I must be going.
Yeah. And I didn't see it coming.
And I didn't prepare.
Did I take things for granted?
So the lesson today, my friend, and this is the lesson, take care of the stranger in the future that's going to be you. Give the stranger that's going to be you at least a fighting chance in the future to make it. And it's up to you to do it today, while you still can, while you can lose the weight, while you can exercise, while you can do the things that you know you should be doing. We all know what to do.
It's not a secret. You know what I thought about when I was at home? I thought about the program you did where you wanted to tell us about the love of our life, or at least who the love of our life should be. And you did this whole program about why the love of your life should be your body. And as I laid there, I thought, that lesson that you taught, how many of us got that? That this is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity that we have, this temple, and yet we mistreat it, we take it for granted, we don't love it.
Well, you got a car, and it says, in this car, you are only supposed to put premium gas.
Mm-hmm.
Now, do you think anybody would put regular gas in their car that said put premium gas? No. Because they want to keep the car running. They want to keep the car in good shape, and they need the car. Well, what about your body, my friends?
Yeah.
You should only be putting premium gas in your body.
What a great point. The little service light comes on, and we take off flying to the dealership to get that vehicle there so it can be serviced, but we won't get a checkup. For our body. We won't take care of our own body, but we run to get the service done on the vehicle.
And as I've said on this program before, and I'll say it again, until you learn to love yourself, you will never truly love someone else.
That's hard for people to understand, isn't it?
It is.
And I
really
say that
is.
because it was hard for me to understand it.
Your body, my friends, it's all you've got. It has to last you the rest of your life, whatever that is. Now, the question is, will it last you a long time or a short time?
Mm-hmm.
It depends on how you take care of it.
I wish we could find that program and go over some of those points, but you talked about, why don't you take the body out for a walk? How about you tell the body, tonight I'm going to let you rest really good, or I'm going to put some good fuel in you and some good cold water, and you went through I'm going to meditate and give you some downtime, and you were just telling all the things that you were going to do to show the body how much you appreciate it.
You're going to say to it, I'm not going to drink that soda, and I'm not going to drink a diet soda. I'm going to just drink water, body, because I care.
And I know that it will do you good. But if it does you good, it does me good.
Because in the end, it's all you've got.
Yeah.
You'll never have another body.
Garrett, why is it, and I'm just saying this from my own experience, going through the COVID, I found a much greater appreciation for life, for family, for friends, for everything. Why do we have to have something like that happen to us in order to make us have the respect and the reverence for life?
Experience is a teacher, and some people learn no other way.
I understand where that statement comes from, my friend. I do indeed.
I am absolutely convinced that my bout with COVID, which wasn't any really big deal other than being tired, was a direct result of the fact that I prepared to take care of the stranger years ago.
Mm-hmm.
By exercising, doing the things I needed to do, taking vitamins, and building an immune system that would be there for me when I needed it.
And I can tell our friends this. While you had COVID, you got out and walked and exercised every day. And I said, Gary, what are you doing? He said, body needs it. I need to take the body for a walk. I need the lungs to be breathing. And you were still exercising, even though you were weak and you didn't feel really good. But you made yourself do that.
Walked every day.
You know, you always tell me, could be a good thing, could be a bad thing. And the last thing on earth you want is to get COVID. But I would bet you that all of our friends that's out there that's had it right now are probably agreeing with you and me that I love life better now. I'm so thankful that I didn't, die with the disease, that I've recovered. I'm going to be more careful, respectful of the people around me. I'm going to love this life.
And I'm going to encourage my friends to wear a mask that don't have it.
Yes.
To encourage them to not get the big gatherings. And encourage them to the extent of my ability to do what needs to be done to protect the stranger, which is the future of them.
Yes, and the people around us. And you and I are wearing masks because there's always that possibility you could still get a different strain of it. Just because you've had it and got over it doesn't mean that you're completely clear and good to go.
You're immune to a certain extent to prevent you from getting it really bad. But that does not mean if you've had it that you won't get it again.
Or that you could transmit it.
Right.
And you just don't want to do that. Now, the good news is there's a couple of vaccines out there. Hopefully, in the next week and 2 weeks, they're going to start coming in. By January, by February, hopefully by March, people are going to be able to take the vaccine. And we're going to be able to come out of this and hopefully win this. We're awfully close.
There's light at the end of the tunnel.
Hope. There's hope, isn't there?
And guess who'll be first in line if they'll let us to take the vaccine?
Keith and Gary.
Keith and Gary.
That's right.
Oh, yes, we'll take it, boys. No problem.
Give it to me. I'm ready. Because I want to see the stranger that's going to be me 10 years from now.
That's right.
I want to be here. That word hope, we've had about 10 months of being stuck in this virus and all the things that's gone along with it. And now that there's some hope, you can see it on people's faces. You can hear it in their voice, the excitement.
I'll tell you what, I quarantined during the time I had it, and Anita was kind enough to bring the food and put it in front of the door where I was quarantining, and then pick it up later and bring me more food. When I went down and got my test and was negative, I come back and told her, I said, now, Anita, they said I could still have food brought to me.
He's telling you the truth, because one day we talked and he said, I'm feeling really good. I said, why are you whispering? And he said, I don't want Anita to hear me. I might lose that food coming to the door. So you were in the best of care.
Oh, yes. I was riding that for what it's worth,
Yeah, I understand that. My wife did a wonderful job with me and the two boys, and she ended up with it also. So it was the four of us trying to help each other. Now, the sad thing is, Gary, there's a lot of people that didn't get the results that you got or that I got.
Right.
And there's some families that have lost family members. And it's been horrible. And that's why you're talking about this and telling people the importance of wearing the mask, because we don't want to lose anybody else, if possible.
It's a bad, bad thing to get. And really and truly, while you and I think we're over it, and we are over it for all intents and purposes, we don't know how it's going to impact us in the future.
No.
We have no way of knowing.
There's a thing called being a long hauler, I guess is the term that they use, that you could have symptoms. It could even do things to you. We don't know and won't know, I guess, until on down the road.
And so, point, my friends, if you do get it, the odds are you're probably not going to die. The odds are in your favor.
If you're healthy and you don't have any problems.
If you do get it, you're going to be miserable.
Yes.
And the objective is try to not get it.
100%.
Wear a mask. Don't be tough and, oh, yes, this doesn't mean anything. Yes, it does mean something. If you get it, it means something.
And it's not just for you. Okay, I get what you're saying, but you got to remember, if you get it, you can transmit it. And the test, that's another thing that you and I found out. Things change really quickly. You can be negative on one day, and you can be positive the next day.
That's right.
It can change that quickly, and you don't know that. So in the time period, you can actually infect other people, and you don't want to do that.
So my friends, they're not going to do that.
Listen, more now than ever before, I am in total agreement with your teachings about the reverence for life. We need to take every second and treat it as if though it's a miracle. And I hope and pray everybody feels that way that hasn't been affected by the COVID, and that you realize what a great gift it is to be here, to be alive, to be able to be with each other, even though it's in a limited stance at this point in time. But still, it's a great life, my friend, and it's worth living. So we got to be safe, and we got to wear the mask. Oh, by the way, I heard someone use Gary on our bookshelf here is his book on Yertle the Turtle and the Sneetches that he read from, and I saw someone use the phrase the other day in one of the articles in the newspaper, and actually called someone Yertle the Turtle. And I said, hey, we've had a listener, because they picked up on the story you did about Yertle the Turtle, and they were referring to a certain politician as being Yertle the Turtle. So,
King of all he could see.
King of all he could see.
Dr. Seuss was a smart man.
A genius, to say the least.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sure if he were with us today, he would be writing a story that would reflect the times, that would give us a great lesson out of this. I think we had a few people wondering about us there for a while we were on the Dr. Seuss books.
Well, they probably should have been more wondering about us.
We had gone from Dale Carnegie and John C. Maxwell and all of that down to Dr. Seuss, but it was two good lessons, that was for sure.
Yeah. Well, so next week, our friends are going to be extremely careful.
Yes.
Right?
Respectful.
They're going to try to get rid of some of the fear, but be respectful of the disease.
You've got to show it the respect it deserves.
They're going to be cognizant of the fact that the stranger in the future is them.
Mm-hmm.
And it's their obligation today to have a body that a stranger can use.
It's a great point. So the healthy choices you're making today are not necessarily for today. They're for that stranger 10 years from now.
That's right. Who's going to be extremely grateful if you do it.
That they can do things like get up out of the chair,
Right.
walk up the steps, breathe, and still be here. The biggest factor.
And still
of all.
be here so they can have the reverence of life. The wonderful gift of life, that they can still see the sunset and they can still enjoy it. So, my friends, keep in mind the stranger. Protect the stranger, which is you 10 years from now.
And let's don't take for granted ever that little phrase that you say at the beginning of the program. I'm so happy to be here.
Amen on that.
Because I am so happy to be here. And I know you are too.
Well, it's a wake-up call.
And we'll be even happier if we can keep all of our friends here with us.
Well, we're all on this rock together. We need each other. Desperately need each other. That's why being quarantined is so hard. You want to be around people.
Yes.
I mean, it's hard.
And you know what? Isn't it great that, when a friend will call or a neighbor will call and say, hey, just checking on you.
Mm-hmm.
And you realize how important people are to you because of their concern and their thought for you. And that's the thing that we've got to do. Let's keep spreading it. Let's pull together. There's light at the end of the tunnel, and let's get through this thing.
And we will.
We will.
This country will do it. It's
We
been
will.
through a lot of things over a lot of period of times. It'll get through this.
We will make it.
Yep.
There's no doubt about it. My friend, so good to see you.
So good to be seen, trust me.
You can catch Gary's television program Tuesday nights on WYMT at 7 p.m., your CBS affiliate in Eastern Kentucky. A late-night replay is in Central Kentucky on your CBS affiliate, WKYT. If you get up early, you can catch us on your Fox affiliate, 6:30 a.m. on Monday morning, or you can start your weekend on Friday morning at 6:30 a.m. If you need to get in touch with Gary, it's GaryCJohnson.com. My friend, wonderful to be back with you.
It's good to be able to do the program.
And we plan on doing it for a long time. On behalf of Gary C. Johnson, I'm Keith Casebolt. Thank you so much for taking this time to tune in. Please be safe. Wear your mask. And as always, Gary and I look forward to seeing you again next week, right here at this very same time.